What's cracking, y'all? It's your most requested echo chamber. The rapper from Harlem, Cameron, goes after Melissa Ford after she insinuated that him and Mace was having sex with underage girls. Cracking, y'all. I'm back in the building, and today we're going to address the Cameron, Melissa Ford, and the Joe Budden situation that happened a couple of days ago. And it's getting kind of hot. Listen, guys, before I continue, I'm gonna do a little bit of housekeeping. Smash up the like, share this video. And when you ring the notification bell, select all so you can get updated every time I release new video content like this one. So, help me out on that, guys. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. And please drop a comment or two. I don't mind. Alright? Let's continue. So let's get into it. As some of you guys know, Cameron and Mace, they are two Harlem's rappers, and they have a podcast. The name of the podcast is It Is What It Is, and it's doing really, really good, very, very good. I like the podcast, and for most of the time, it's a sport podcast. That's what they talk about. They talk about sports and things of that sort. But sometimes Cameron, he goes off script and he talks about the stories that they once had when they was younger and experiences that him and Mace had at some point in time, and he shares that in the podcast. So what happened was that this particular time, Cameron was letting the audience know, he was letting them know about a story that him and Mace, they went inside a strip club or a whorehouse, something like that. Anyway, they went in there, I guess, to have sex, obviously. And there was going, he was being a little bit vivid about it and stuff like that. But it was all jokes, and fun at the time. And he made nothing out of it. So the next day, when Cameron was getting ready to go, back to his podcast, one of his associates showed him a video of what Melissa Ford, she's a member of the Joe Budden Podcast, which is, the Joe Budden Podcast is also very, very good. You know what I'm saying? I don't follow him, but I heard that it's very, very good, because I know that Joe Budden is a good rapper. He used to be, still he's a good rapper. So anyway, so Cameron was compelled to address the situation. You know what I'm saying? So, but before, I continue, I'm gonna let you hear what Melissa Ford had to say.
Is there a distinct possibility that there may have been underage girls in that whorehouse?
Come
on now.
That's crazy.
I don't know what you're doing.
That's
That's
crazy.
disgusting what you're doing.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
What are you doing?
Okay, I'm not gonna land that plane. Just saying.
That plane should have never even took
That's
off.
not a plane. That's not. It's not even wings on that bitch. No pilot.
No nothing.
No
That shit
cockpit.
is
What are you doing?
Not even a drone.
That was a little crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
you wow. I didn't know where you was going.
I don't
but
know
that
what
was
the
crazy.
Canadian whorehouses are like.
I don't know. I've never been to a whorehouse. I couldn't tell you.
So why would you say
something like that?
There was under.
So right there and there, fam, as you can see, that I believe that she was out of line for that, making that comment without she having no concrete evidence that that's what they was doing, or that's what they did, because I mean, what they was underage themselves. You get what I'm saying? So, and I think it was kind of reckless of her for insinuating something like that, something like this, because the temperature that and the climate that's going on right now with all the allegations with other singers and actors and actresses and stuff like that, and this is very serious allegations. Anybody can come out of the woodwork and make us some shit, and then what? Before everything is set and everything settles, you might lose some sponsors, you must lose some contracts, and everything has become a mess. So anyway, yes, Cameron addressed Melissa, and he went in on her on a live, and this is something that he had to say about about her, or about like the whole team there, because he felt that, if you don't have evidence of this, why will you allow this to go on the air like that? You know what I'm saying? And this is very dangerous. Like, there's a lot of people in YouTube or anywhere for that matter, and they just talk reckless about a person, and they think that they can disrespect and things like that. And when you find out in real life, you come across one of those people like that, you don't know what can happen, so you have to tread lightly sometimes. You can't just be willy-nilly talk shit about people like that. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be I think you have to be responsible. You know what I'm saying? If you have a platform and you reach hundreds of thousands of people, you have to be responsible for what you said. So then Joe Budden, of course, he has to back up his co-host, and which he did. And a day later or something like that, when he heard what Cameron have to say, he responded, listen, I believe, my opinion, not because I am, I'm not because I am, a Cam follower or something like that. I like Dipset music. I rock with Dipset music all day long. And it's not because of that. It's because I think that Joe Budden, yes, they addressed her right then and there. They told her, yo, what are you doing? Like, you can't be coming out, saying shit like that. And I'm sure that, they had to understand it. And yes, she apologized, but Cameron wasn't having none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to apologize. You already said it, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But Joe Budden, they should have edited that part out, man. You know what I'm saying? They could have edited that part out. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna play another clip that why Joe Budden didn't wanna edit that part out. Here we go.
I love it, yo. I looked Mel in her face. I said, do you want to take it out? She said, no. I love that. I love just throwing something out there and dictating a conversation.
So then later on, I think the next following day, he makes another video, Joe Budden, saying that he ain't down, he don't want to play the algorithm games. He don't want to play the algorithm games.
Not doing this shit with you niggas out here. You niggas is trying to play algorithm games, and I'm not with none of it.
But nigga, you just playing the algorithm games because that's exactly what you said, that you want to dictate the conversation. So whatever it is that you want to put out there, you're going to put it and let that shit run with it, because that's what you just said. So how can you say now that you don't want to play the algorithm games when you yourself play the algorithm games? You get content from other people to talk in your podcast. That's the algorithm game. That's the very definition of the algorithm game. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So Cameron ain't had no choice but to crash out on Melissa Ford, because they feel that, I mean, Cameron and Mace, I'm sure they have a lot of shit going on with their channel. You know what I'm saying? They're growing. They might have contracts, sponsors, and stuff like that. So your sponsors and your contract, they start seeing all this crazy shit coming at you, allegation about you, they're gonna pull back. That means that you're not gonna have the contract, or you're gonna lose money because somebody else is talking crazy, talking mad greasy about you. You get what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying, fam? So I'm just hope that those two guys, they hash that shit out, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You also have Queen Flip, which is a friend of Cam. Cam helped that guy, to do certain things. Like, if you know Queen Flip, he's all over YouTube also, and he's a member of Joe Budden Podcast. And he wasn't there that day when Melissa Ford said that shit. But the next day, when he heard Cam talking about Melissa, he sent a text to the group, asking, "Hey, nobody's gonna have Melissa Ford back?" And Cam was like, "Yo, what do you mean?" That's why Cam says, "Get who back? Y'all niggas came for me. Y'all niggas was talking shit about me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be talking shit about people and not expect somebody to react in such a manner. You understand what I'm saying? And that's that. But this happen in this podcast and stuff like that. But this can happen anywhere, man. This can happen with your family members. This can happen with your co-workers. This can happen in your school. This can happen anywhere. Anybody can can say any inflammatory story about you or comment about you, and then by the time it gets back to you, the story has done so many twists and turns that people will start looking at you crazy, and then you wonder why people react the way they react in their jobs, and they get into fights and arguments and stuff like that for this same very reason. You have to be more responsible with the words that come out of your mouth when you talk about people, especially when you accusing or insinuating that people's doing certain things, especially when they're doing illegal stuff. So in this case is, man, listen, the allegation, messing around with minors, this is like the worst time to be talking about that on somebody doing that stuff. You see what happened with Puffy. You see what's happening with with all the people that they're going through right now. They're dragging them through the mud online. So you got to be very careful, fam. You get what I'm saying? You got to be very careful. But listen, that's what I have to say right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe. As always, I need you guys to step on those likes. And that's it. The internet is hot. I'm out.